Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Spring Fling 2019. I'm Jackson Thiesfeld, principal at Christ Lutheran Church and School, and I get to welcome you to our great event tonight. We thank you for your support. We ask that you bid generously and have a great time. Tonight, we're celebrating and remembering all the Spring Flings from the past. You're about to hear some of our favorite memories from Spring Fling.
My favorite Spring Fling memory is all the costumes that Jackson and I have worn, the different auctioning events we've done, and just prepping for that. One year he cut himself horribly shaving, getting ready for a costume, and was bleeding all over a sink. We were like, what are we going to do? But it worked out, and so just the different routines we've done and the different costumes have been a blast.
What is my favorite Spring Fling memory? Well, I've only been here 2 years, so I only have 2 Spring Fling experiences to draw on. But I have to say, in both of them, it is the costumes. I love getting ready with the costumes, and Captain America was a good first one, and Hannah and I have planned for the next one, so you'll have to wait and see. But I always enjoy seeing everybody's and getting ready that way.
My favorite Spring Fling memory is probably more unique than anybody else. I actually met my wife at a Spring Fling 2009, and she would tell the story a whole lot better than I would. I was dressed in a terrible costume, so it's amazing that she ever talked to me that night. But Spring Fling for me will always remind me of the time that Eric and I first met and eventually got married, and we had Kendall, and so it holds a special place in my heart for sure.
I really like the auction. Pastor Dan and Pastor CJ used to do an auction, and they'd play off of each other, and it was funny. They were a good team working together. So I would say probably the auction that was not quite so silent as it is now.
Favorite costume? Well, my own favorite was the retro Captain America, which is going to be tough to beat. But seeing other people's costumes, oh boy, there was an awesome Joker 2 years ago that I was really blown away by. I'm excited to see what people are going to do this year because the door is really wide open.
Oh man, the one year I can remember Pastor Dan and Pastor CJ dressed up. I want to say they looked like Laurel and Hardy, but maybe that was unintentional. I don't know. I thought them to be looking like Laurel and Hardy, but when they were auctioneers this one year, I know they had fedora type hats on, and that's what I recall.
My favorite costume, ooh, that's a tough one.
Spring Fling costumes, unfortunately, usually end up falling to me and Mrs. Blaine.
I think our classic, probably most popular, the cheerleaders, because we did an actual dance routine with that.
One would be the cheerleaders, the Spartan cheerleaders, when we came out in that one, and I think that was 2008. That's a good memory for me.
But I think our best costumes were Trump and Hillary. It was a timely, accurate costume.
Probably my other favorite costume was Trump and Hillary, and it was pre-election. It was obviously during their debates and whatnot. That was a fun one to put on and a good event.
What is my favorite memory of Christ Lutheran? So there's so many different memories and so many different things to choose from, but I think I'll have to say one thing that recently I did is I went into the 6th grade classroom, which sometimes I go into classrooms just to discuss different things with them, usually things related to God, ideas like that. And this time I went in and I couldn't get away. The kids just kept asking me more and more questions, and they were so excited and they wanted to learn so much, and we had so much fun. And I think that just captured the spirit of the school so much, as there was a genuine interest in learning and in fun, and it was wonderful. It was a great experience with me and with the teacher and with the kids. And I think that's what kind of the mission is all about, is a love of learning and a playfulness and an excitement.
From a family standpoint, probably our kids being baptized here. From a pastoral standpoint, the baptisms that I've been blessed to perform here. I love when our confirmands are done and they make their faith statements. That's an incredibly powerful day. In terms of the school, I think the foundation that it laid down in the faith for my kids, my daughter Alexa especially, has a very, very strong faith, and I know that foundation was built here at Christ Lutheran.
My favorite memory would probably be giving Jackson a hair low, shaving his hair to look like Martin Luther while I had hot pink hair. We had both lost a bet. It was, I think it was a jogathon bet. We said if the kids raised a certain amount of money that we would both do those things. And they raised the money and we happily embarrassed ourselves for a while. And it was fun to see how excited the kids were and just to kind of be silly and look ridiculous for a while.
My favorite memory at Christ Lutheran probably would be tied to the students that I've had here. When I think back over the years of all the amazing classes, I usually track my time based on the 8th grade kids that have come in and out each year. So I started in 2006 and I've had 14 different 8th grade classes that I remember. And coming from an outside perspective and not knowing anybody in Brea or at Christ Lutheran, what really blew me away was the family atmosphere. My first memories are not just getting to know the kids, but getting to know their parents, brothers and sisters, and just how everybody welcomed me in with open arms. It's really great environment here.
What makes Christ Lutheran unique? One thing that I just really love about this place, the church and school, is it really feels like a family. There's a warmth and there's a care for each other, for God's Word. And right from the beginning, I've just felt so welcome and cared for. And I see that welcome and care extending to pretty much anyone who comes on this campus.
I definitely think the family atmosphere. We get to know more than just the students. We know their families, we know their situations, and can have some more honest, open conversations with parents when needed because of those relationships we develop.
I think what makes us special is the sense that we're a family, that we rely upon one another for prayerful support, that people truly, truly care about one another. And we care about the community also in many of the things that we do here with our food bank ministry and fleece blankets, and just many of the ministries here are engaged in reaching out and serving. So I think those are some of the things that make us special here.
I think that Christ Lutheran is unique because of the long history of the church and school here in Brea. Brea is an interesting city in Orange County to me because even though it's Orange County, Brea being kind of in the northern corner, I think has a lot of its own culture and history. And I think Christ Lutheran fits in with that. When we talk to the other schools in the sports leagues or around Orange County and the other Lutheran schools, not many people know a whole lot about Brea. I remember when I first heard about it, I didn't even know that you pronounced it Brea. I thought maybe it was Brea. But the more I found out about the city, about Christ Lutheran School and the people surrounding here, I really fell in love with the place. I think that we have one of the most unique school environments. We try to do things in a different way. We've got incredible teachers that are very creative in the classroom, and I always enjoy the different students that we get and the families from Brea that give us the opportunity to really get to know them.
How have I seen Christ Lutheran grow? I guess I just see it becoming more and more of a family, and at least for me, I feel like I'm becoming a part of this family more and more. I see an excitement definitely building, an excitement to do our calling, which is to spread the message of Jesus and to help our neighbor, which I see the church and school doing. So I think it's that excitement and that dedication, which I'm excited to see where that goes in the next few years.
I think we've grown in our opportunities for the students. We offer several resources that we didn't used to offer, whether that's speech therapy or just resource help, emotional support. But other opportunities like some of the trips we take with the older kids, the sports program, some art programs, and then the bridging between the classes, the chapel buddies, trying to get over to the preschool as much as possible. I think that's really, really grown in the last few years, and I think that's been a benefit to us.
Well, when I got here, many years ago, we didn't have the Family Life Center. I think the Family Life Center is a big part of our growth. It enables us to bring people in from the community, to have a wide range of events in there, to have our contemporary worship service. I think that's huge. Is that Family Life Center is huge. So that is a big source of growth, that Family Life Center, and what it enables us to do here that we were never able to do in the old Albers Hall, as benevolent as it was.
When I started at Christ Lutheran School, we had about 100 students in our K through 8, and so we are twice that size now and have grown over the last few years. It's been neat to see us grow, not just in numbers of students and in the classroom, but in our facilities as well. My favorite building on campus is our gym, and we didn't have a gym when I first started at Christ Lutheran. Having our preschool right next door outside my office, I love hearing the kids play outside and thinking about the future generations of Christ Lutheran students right here on our campus. Thanks for joining us tonight for Spring Fling. We hope you guys have a wonderful time. Bid generously and have fun. There's no kids around tonight, so remember, what happens at Spring Fling stays at Spring Fling. Thanks for your support at Christ Lutheran.